Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramagurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Good day, viewers. In the last episode, we left Pandu and Kunti debating on how to get a son without Kunti going to other men. We have to remember and recall that Pandu, because of a curse, could not sleep with or could not touch Kunti or Madri. So Pandu, in order to beget sons, he is forcing his wives, particularly Kunti, to go and sleep with other men so that he can beget the son. That is the context of this talk. Pandu says to Kunti, "O Kunti, your own sister Shrutasena did not have any kids through her husband. So what did she do? She went to a Brahmin, slept with a Brahmin, and through him she got 3 sons. So why don't you also do that?" Kunti says, "Yes, I know the incident of my sister Shrutasena having gone to some other people outside the wedlock and she got her kids. That is fine, but I am not the person who is going to do it." Do you remember the story of Bhadra and her husband? You know that Bhadra did not get any kids through her husband, and even before conceiving or even before begetting any kids, her husband died. So Bhadra, what she did, because she did not have her husband and because she did not have any kids, she decided that when her husband's body will be lit in the fire, she will also commit a suicide or commit that Satisahagamana and end her life. And when she was about to do that, it is said there was a heavenly voice booming from the skies which said, "O Bhadra, don't commit suicide because we know you will have kids." For which Bhadra replied, "How can I have kids when my husband is already dead in front of me?" For which the heavenly voice says, "On the 8th day after you get your monthly periods, you sleep with the body of your dead husband, you will beget child." And accordingly, it is said that after her monthly periods, on the 8th day, Bhadra went and slept with the dead body of her husband and she begot children. So, I would rather see you dead and beget sons through you, just like Bhadra got, rather than go and sleep with other men. I do not want to go. And for which Pandu says, "You listen to one more story which I am going to tell." It is a story about a pious family who were living in a hermitage. It consisted of sage Uddalaka, his wife, and his son Shvetaketu. Once it so happened, an old man came to the hermitage where this family was staying, and he inquired with sage Uddalaka, "Who is this son?" pointing to Shvetaketu. And proudly sage says, "Yes, this is my son Shvetaketu, and this is my wife. Through her I got this son." The old man says, "O sage Uddalaka, I am very happy that you have begot a son who will do the Pitrakaryas, and through that your forefathers will attain salvation or will reach the higher realm of heaven. But throughout my life, I have been searching for a woman and I did not get any. And since I did not get any woman, I did not get any son. And since I don't have any son, my Pitrus are unhappy. So I see your wife as a pious woman. Please lend your wife to me. I will take her away. I will beget a son through her, and I will return back her." And having said that, old man just pulled the hand of the sage's wife and began moving away. Seeing this, Shvetaketu, that is the son, he says, "Oh old man, stop. Where are you going? Do you know through my power of tapas, I can put a curse on you right now? And do you know my father, who is also a great ascetic, can put a curse on you? Not only that, even my mother, who is a very pious lady, she can also put a curse on you. Just leave my mother and go alone. What is that you are doing?" For which sage Uddalaka says, "Oh son, please be calm. Please get pacified. because let the old man take my wife, because your mother is a childbearing woman. Since I have already got a son, as that old man has said, let him also have a son so that he can fulfill his forefathers' pitrukaryas, or he can repay the forefathers' debt. Let her go. Shvetaketu is aghast by this strange reasoning, and he says, "Oh father, that guy is a old man, and how can you ever think of allowing your wife to go with another man?" Uddalaka says, "This is the dharma as of now. This is the rule. There is nothing wrong in me lending my wife to another man who has not got kids." But Shvetaketu, seeing his mother being pulled away by an old man, he was not satisfied with the reasoning given by his father. And it is said on that day, on that particular day, Shvetaketu made a rule. The rule said a man has to have only one wife and a woman has to have only one husband. This is the rule. So it is said from that point of time, there was no polygamy, there was no polyandry. But after Shvetaketu's role, it is laid down that as per our dharma, a man has to have only one wife, and a woman has to have only one husband. However, in this situation, in this strange situation of the old man and the reasoning given by his father, Shvetaketu for once made an exception and he allowed his mother to go with the old man. After having narrated this story, Panduraja says to Kunti with folded hands, "O Kunti, I beg you, please go and sleep with some man, sleep with some rishi, sleep with some Brahmin, and beget me son." Hearing all this, Kunti says, "Okay, okay, there is no need for you to beg. Let me reveal you a secret which I had held close to my heart all these years. And that is, when I was a girl of 12, 13 years, I served sage Durvasa diligently. And he was very happy with the way I looked after him. And when he departed from that ashram, he taught me a mantra through which I can beckon any god and cohabit with him and beget sons. Since I am a pativrate and I have no preference for any particular god, you tell me which god should I call, so that I will use that mantra and I will call that particular god. I will cohabit with him and I will give you a child." After hearing to Kunti's word, Pandaraja was not only very joyful, but he got into a thoughtful mood as to which god he should call, so that the son which will be born later will inherit the qualities of that god. And he says to himself, for a kingdom to grow, for a civilization to grow and flourish, dharma should be there. That is, righteousness should be there. As the saying goes, dharmo rakshiti rakshitaha, meaning dharma alone will protect dharma. So, in the entire realm of the heavens, the most righteousness king is the Lord of death or Lord of dharma, who is Lord Yama. So, O Kunti, call Lord Yama and get a child through him. Accordingly, Kunti purifies her body and then she invokes the mantra which was taught to her by sage Durvasa. And when the mantra was recited, Lord Yama presents himself before her and he asks Kunti, "O Kunti, what can I do for you?" For which Kunti replies, saying that in deference to my husband Panduraja's request, I need a child through you. Accordingly, it is said both Kunti and Yamaraja cohabited, not in the way humans do, but through the power of yoga. It is said Yamaraja impregnated Kunti and eventually a child was born who was named as Yudhishthira or Dharmaraja. And when Dharmaraja was born, it is said there was heavenly voice booming from the skies saying that this baby will grow up to be the most illustrious, most famous, most dharmic and righteous king the world has ever seen. His good deeds, his way of living, his administration will throughout the world be celebrated and remembered as long as humanity is there. Pandraja was very happy seeing this young boy Yudhishthira. But however, for dharma to be followed, for the rules to be followed, there should be enforcement. Without enforcement, laying down the laws is of no use. So I need a son who is not only dharmic but also powerful physically, so that the rules formulated by my elder son, that is Yudhishthira, should be implemented. There should be a person who oversees the implementation of those rules. For that, a person should be physically strong. And with this intention, he approaches Kunti and he says, "Oh Kunti, I need a second son." Kunti says, "Which god should I call?" For which Pandraja says, "See, you please call Vayu, that is the god of wind, because he is known to be the most powerful god, next only to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the preserver of the world. Since I need a son who is the preserver for Dharma, please call Vayu and have a son through him." Same way, Kunti purifies her body, then invokes the mantra, and Vayu impregnates her. And later on, a son is born who will be named as Bhima, the second Pandava. It is said when Bhima was born, the heavenly voice were booming through the skies, which conveyed the message that this boy, this baby will grow up to be the strongest person on the earth. Nobody can defy him, nobody can win him in any sort of physical challenge. And so much so, his power will be so great that in a battlefield, he can alone face a herd of elephants. So Pandu, seeing these two kids, was very happy. But after some time, one more doubt came to his mind. He said to himself, "See, the laws of dharma are enunciated, and to ensure that Bhima, that is my second son, will enforce that. Now, when these two brothers are administering the kingdom by enforcing the laws of dharma, suppose an enemy comes, there should be someone equally strong as Bhima to defend the borders, to defend the kingdom. Such person should be not only physically strong, but also he should be an adept and an expert in the warfare. He should be an expert in the usage of various weapons. So I need one son like that, so that dharma is there, protection for dharma is there, and protection from enemies is there." And with this reasoning, he goes to Kunti and he says, "This is my desire." Kunti says, "Okay, which god should I call?" This time, it is said, Pandu says, "You call the king of gods himself, that is Indra or Devendra, you call him and you beget a son." Accordingly, the same thing happens, and one more son is born, who is named as Arjuna. When Arjuna was born, it is said all the Devatas, Gandharvas, demigods, Yakshas, and other celestial beings showered flowers and petals on this baby boy, because he was none other than Devendra or Indra himself. Seeing all these three kids, Pandu was very happy for some time. But later on, when he observed these three kids closely, he felt one more thing. What was that? They are so ruthless in their appearance, so manly in their appearance. I can hardly call them kids. I need some kids where I can hold them, where I can cuddle them, where they are charming, good looking. Such type of kids I need. These kids are fine for protection of dharma, for enforcing rules, everything is, but they are so manly, they are so rough looking. I need someone who is whom I can really call them my own children, and I can cuddle them, I can hold them, I can play with them. Such type of innocent looking, soft spoken kids I need. When Pandu went to Kunti and he said that this is my desire, Kunti says no. See, whatever the reasons you have brought for the first three sons, it is valid, it is correct as per the rules of Dharma. Now, just because you want your emotions to get satisfied, I am not going to sleep with any god. I am done with it. Pandu could not counter Kunti's reasoning, and he had to retreat. At this time, Madri, the second wife of Pandu, came to Pandu and she says, please request on my behalf to Kunti to teach me that mantra so that I will also beget a child. Pandu says, yes, it is fine. Now that Kunti has got three kids, it is natural that you should also get a child. And he approaches Kunti and he says, please teach the mantra to Madri also. Kunti, being a very magnanimous lady, she said, Gandhari has got 101 kids, and now I have got three kids. It is only fair and natural for Madri to expect some kid. I will teach her the mantra. Once let her use and let her get a child. And she taught the mantra. Here, Madri's thoughts were elsewhere because she thought this Gandhari had 101 kids and Kunti has got three kids, while I will be getting only one child even if I use this mantra. Unlike the present day scenario, people during that time or women during that time were very proud of having many children. So she devised an ingenious plan and she used that mantra and called Ashwini brothers. Ashwini brothers are twin brothers. They always move together. So when Kunti recited the mantra, both of them came and each of them impregnated a child in Madri. So that Madri got two kids and they were they were named as Nakula and Sahadeva. So this is how this King Pandu, without touching his wives, because of a curse, he could beget five kids who were known as the five Pandavas, and their role in the Mahabharata is something which we will see in the next few episodes. Uh, Thanks for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye.